today, what's up, everyone? Hopefully you've had a chance. And if you have not had a chance, I'm going to link to it right now to check out the new Nano course on LinkedIn. So pretty excited about this. This is really cool. This is the only LinkedIn learning course from LinkedIn. It's like from LinkedIn, by LinkedIn, that will help you to actually use LinkedIn. It's 11 minutes long. It's 8 courses. So I'm going to drop it in here. If you have not signed up, what are you waiting for? Todd says that he went through it. Awesome, Todd. Great. Leaf, appreciate it, man. I'm glad that you found some value there too. But again, if you have not checked it out, and again, I'm not just saying this because maybe I am saying it because I think it's better than anything out there, but check it out. Let me drop it for all my Zoomers. What's up, Zoomers? It's better than being a Zoomer or a Boomer, right? But Zoomer, I think, is another one. I think that's what they call Gen Z now or something. I don't know. I can't. No, Gen Z is something else because Gen Z would be like 2 steps down. So what's up, everyone? I'm going to break down the class for you. Okay. And so what I'm going to do, let me do a little screen share up in here. Let me go back to the contents real quick. And I think what this will help you to do is when you go through the Nano course, just understand like what you're getting yourself into. I also, as always, I'll be monitoring the Q&A. So if you do have, let me pull up my other questions because I do have questions that people have preloaded as well too, which is great. Yeah, we've got lots of questions in here. Great. So again, if you have questions, Jake, like I'm nervous. I don't know how to use LinkedIn. I don't know, man. I'm just nervous. I don't want to do it. I don't know how to do it. Then that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you unlock LinkedIn for selling. And that's why we titled the course what it was. You know, for those of you who haven't, it's like how to use LinkedIn for selling without selling, you know? So I don't know. I just feel like it's a really great, way to use it. So let me make sure I'm sharing my right screen there. I am. Great. So there's that. We'll go to this. And then we'll kind of pop into the course itself. So if you haven't checked out the course, here's, kind of what's up. This should really help all of you to kind of see, what's happening. Let me know for some reason you can't see my screen here. Just let me know in the chat real quick if you can't see my screen. Hopefully you can see it. Hopefully I did this correctly. Let me pull this over so it's not confusing. Fallon said Gen Z is Zoomers. You are correct. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Let me know if for any reason you're having trouble seeing my screen. Let me see. It could just be not working. Let me check it. Fallon said Gen Z is Zoomers. Okay, Becca said she can't see it. Okay, then I am going to do this real quick. Let me share. Got to do like a triple share here. There's so many just screens going on. I just got to share like 8 of them. All right. All right, perfect. All right, I think I got it. All right, here we go. So let's talk through it all. So the first thing I will talk through, let's just make sure that you all can see it here as a part of it. Gerard says he's seeing me. What's going on, Gerard? This guy, man, I got to tell you, if you're not following him on LinkedIn, go follow him right now. This guy has been putting out content on LinkedIn almost as long as me. I'm gonna give him the almost on it. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate you. So again, if you haven't checked out the course, share this with your team. It's literally 100% free. So like, why not? And the goal again is to really teach teams how to use LinkedIn in a way that do not get it wrong. Everything I'm talking about right now is to help people set meetings. Okay. This isn't like, I want to help people to be like amazing influencers. Like, cool, would be great. But the first course here is called Reputation Over Brand. Okay. And the point of this course, okay, for all of you is more than anything to help you to get out of your mind that you are being egotistical. You're trying to be some Kardashian or what are those twins out of Miami? I can't remember their names. That you're trying to be some influencer. The reality is what you are doing is building a digital reputation. What do I mean by that? I mean that, look, when people Google your name, what do they see? I'm telling you, for a lot of you, your LinkedIn profile is the number one search on Google. And so think of it the same way that you would go and visit your local chamber of commerce and want to be known in an industry for XYZ topic. If I said to any salesperson or sales leader or VP right this second, I said, hey, I have a group of your target market. I got 40 of them in a room, and they're in Miami, Florida in a week. Can you fly down and go visit them and go talk to them about the industry? Every one of you would be like, yeah, let's go. Of course, I'm going to do that. All right. It's kind of weird with this thing frozen on my face. But for so many people out there, again, instead what they do is they think of LinkedIn as like showing off. It's like, no, this is a speaking appearance every single day. LinkedIn, okay, is a digital networking event every week. So get it out of your mind. You know, this is what it is. So check it out. Shout out to Sam. Can we give a clap to Sam for the editing on these too? Man, he crushed this. Sam does all my YouTube stuff. So if you don't follow me on YouTube, make sure to check out my YouTube. Your profile is not your resume. How many of you have a profile that looks like President's Club? I'm a President's Club. I'm the number one Dakota. Do you think your buyers give a shit? No, they do not. Your buyers do not give a shit about you making President's Club. Okay? What do your buyers care about? Your buyers care about, do you know me? Do you know what my pains or my issues are? That's what your buyers care about. So your profile needs to show, hey, I help VPs of operations with these 5 problems. Here's 2 or 3 different ways that I help them. Boom. That's it. This is the one. Look, I love you, Sales Navigator team. I love you. And there's probably some of my Sales Navigator team members watching right now. And I want to say this with all peace and love, peace and love. Sales Navigator's sales organization barely scratches the surface of what you can do with this. Just watch this video. This cheat code I'm showing you right here that's on screen, okay? This one here that talks about how to build your lead list out. And then the next one I'm going to show you, which is to then how to look every single morning at who shared the day before and go like and comment. Telling you, this is where it's at, okay? These people I want you to think about this. You build a lead list of people. You don't just immediately DM. Instead, you connect with them. So connect. Then you go to alert types. You click lead news, lead shares, and then every morning you'll see the 3 people that posted and go comment on their post. Sam on my team, on my YouTube team, he can tell you this from this nano course. And this thing has been live for less than a week. It's been live for 5 business days. Okay. I got a note. I'm going to read you this note that I got on, let me find it real quick, that I got from someone on YouTube. And feel free, like, if it works for you too, really excited to hear from all of you on what it is. But here's what the quote said. It said, here it is. Hey, Jake, figured a comment would be less noisy here. I wanted to let you know I booked a meeting with a CISO at a target account this week, leveraging your LinkedIn strategy of connect with no ask, engage with a post, and when you get the opportunity to provide insight, do it. It worked like a charm. Huge fan of your content. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. Guys, it is not difficult in 2023 to get meetings. You just can't get the meetings the way that you want to with a bunch of emails and calls. All right. So this is how to engage. I talked a little bit about this, like how to use Sales Nav, this idea of commenting. A lot of people don't post. So here, I'm going to pause this real quick. Okay. So here's what I want to let you know. A lot of people do not post on LinkedIn. And I was on the phone with a VP of sales, and she's like, Jake, I'm just not sure if our target audience is on LinkedIn. Okay. You go and you do a search, and you're right. They're not posting, but they're liking and commenting. You can go and interact with their comments the same way you can one of their posts. So don't feel like if just because you don't see a bunch of posts, your audience, healthcare, people are floored by this. Healthcare is the number 2 vertical on LinkedIn. Number 1 is information technology. No surprise there, right? So for all of you, again, think about different ways. Again, like this example here, you can go comment on his share, comment on something that he liked, and then use that to go and get the piece here. So while I'm doing this, make sure all of you, if you're following along, start dropping your comments in. So as I finish the walkthrough, I'm going a little bit quick here, quicker than normal. I can start to answer some questions for you. Okay. Oh, this is such a big one. Producing content. I get it. You all, many of you are terrified of producing content. Okay. You're terrified of it. You're like, oh my God, what do you call it? Stu commented on the LinkedIn piece, LinkedIn's team. Again, I love the LinkedIn Sales Navigate team. They're a great ally, great friend. I love them. So shout out to them too. So anyway, producing content. I get most of you, this is what you're most scared about. Jake, how the hell do I produce content? I don't have anything to say. And just so you all know, I had the exact same mindset in 2018 before I started producing content. I talk in here about my boy ChatGPT. If you haven't heard me, ChatGPT is where it's at. Like if I was a lot of people and I was struggling with like what to write about, I'd go to ChatGPT and I'd say, what are the top 2 challenges for VPs of operations in industrial manufacturing? And it would give me some interesting things. And I'd like copy and paste a version of that. Right. And I would just say like, here's what I think that they're interested in. Right. As a part of that. So just the other thing that I'm a big fan of is use your company's blog post. This is a really big one. Like your company puts out your blog post like on a frequent basis. Right. And, you can repurpose some of that content for that. The next one, content that makes you an authority. Okay, so after you started to get in the flow of this, just understand, and there's an SDR, I'll never forget this guy. His name's Lior, and I cannot remember his company. After I said, I just never forget this guy. I know his name's Lior. Shout out to Lior. If you're watching, you're a legend, right? I'm calling you out right now. You did a great job. Like you do a better job of this than like anyone that I know. So anyway. So for any of you out there, like there's a guy, okay, this is a rep, an SDR. And what he started to do is he started to put his content into like his feature articles. He would take something like that. This is funny. Hold on. Looks like my video froze somehow. I have no clue how that happened. Zoom, live, video. Let me try to fix it. Okay, let's see if that helped. Somehow it froze there. I saw. Let's see if this helped if I moved it. Or is it still moving and it just like looks like it's frozen to me? Maybe. Oh yeah, it's frozen. Okay, it's unfrozen. So we're good there. All right. We'll go back to the plus. I'm seeing you, but not your screen. Okay, cool. All right. So making you an authority. Go use the featured section. Go use your content. Let me ask you this. What percentage of salespeople do you think do what I'm about to tell you right now? They put out a short form piece of content, okay? And then they instead of sending some cheesy DM, and I'll get into this like DMs that aren't annoying, instead they're like, hey, I put out this article, and you could like put together a 500-word piece of, hey, I put this article out about this trend, thought it might be interesting. So instead of sharing your company content, you're showing them like, look, I'm an expert. Like I get this space. I get this world, right? And that goes into the DMs that aren't annoying, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, the most annoying possible thing that you can do is send a connection request with that. We've got synergies in a space. That's real annoying, okay? Number 2, the most annoying thing you can do is as soon as we connect, you then like launch into some nonsense about like, oh, Jake, I saw this, and it's not personalized. It's generic. I know you didn't spend any time on it. Just so you know, to get a meeting with me, like I swear to God, it literally would take like 5 minutes of personalization. That is how bad it is out there. That is how bad it is right now. I'm a CEO of a growing company, Inc. 500, 4 or 5 years in a row. And so many people miss this opportunity to just do a little customization. So if you're sliding in the DMs, my friends, it's just the parallels between dating and sales. There's a lot of them. I won't get into it too much. But you don't go straight for the ask. You like add a little bit of value. You're funny or you're whatever. And then you go for the ask. And so for a lot of you, if you're wondering like, why aren't my DMs working? It's like, because you're acting like you want a meeting 24/7. I think the kids call it thirsty, right? And I can tell you right now, like the same thing applies to business and to sales. If your DMs sound desperate and you're like, I want a meeting, please. Oh, here's my value that I have to add. Will you please set a meeting with me? Nobody wants to meet with that dude. Okay, last but certainly not least is nurturing. All right, and then make sure I'm monitoring here the comments. Make sure I'm going to stop sharing, doing all that stuff. Make sure to drop your questions. Any questions you have about LinkedIn, anything that I talked about, I think it'll be very, very helpful, for any of you out there that are trying to, get active on LinkedIn. Maybe there's something that's holding you back and you're like, oh, I don't know. Feel free to drop that in. Okay, something happened. Okay, we're back. There we go. So let me go back to my camera on this view. Okay. So for any of you out there who are trying to nurture people, this is, I think this is the one that will really hit home. What I want all of you to do, if you follow this playbook that I'm giving you on the Nano course here, you are going to have 2 or 3 meetings coming into every single month. You're going to have again, because what happened is not everyone's going to respond after you comment. Not everyone's going to respond after you, initially interact, right? Most people, what's going to happen is it's going to take a little bit of time. And so imagine if every morning I go in and I just look at my lead shares. Some of those people I'm going to comment. Some they might not post or they might not be commenting, but then this morning I see they did. And then I do that, but it's been 60 days. So I'm telling you, the idea of just using LinkedIn to nurture, using LinkedIn to build that funnel to where in the next, A, B, C, D time period, you book meetings is so epic. Because I'm telling you right now that if you don't do a good job of nurturing, it sucks. You're always in that panic. I'm desperate. I have to DM to book a meeting mode. And so if you're always in that desperate, I got to book a meeting mode, then, you're not going to actually book as many meetings because you're not playing. Again, if you follow my content, I've got this saying, it's called the 80-15-5 rule. Okay. 80-15-5, 80% of my time is about hitting my numbers or doing the things that need to get done now. 15% of my time is things that are going to impact my business in the next 2, 3, 6 months. 5% of my time every single week is on the long term. Okay. And when you have that mindset, the 80-15-5 mindset, what ends up happening is because you're always helping out. I always call it, it's like whenever you leave a glass, maybe you've been out drinking one night and you leave a glass of water out for yourself. And you're like, this guy in the future is going to need water, right? If you're doing things consistently, I always call it to the benefit of future Jake. Maybe I stay on and I do another X amount of activities in a day. Maybe I, put together a statement of work for one of my counterparts. Maybe I'm putting together a couple more posts for that little bit of extra effort, to set myself up for the future. It helps to kind of come into months and come into future months with a big, big head start. So that's what's up. Obviously, if you have not checked out the Nano course, hopefully by now you're like, okay, I got to check this bad boy out. This thing's legit. If you are just joining us, I'll just drop it in the chat again one more time. But I'm really happy with it, how it turned out. I'm really proud of it. Really excited about it. So go check out the Nano course. Like I said, it's free, which is great. So, all right, like we've been doing every week now, we're going to spend the next 5-10 minutes. We're going to go through some Q&A. I love Q&A. Just so you all know, maybe some people are nervous. They're like, oh, should I ask a question? Q&A and doing this stuff live is literally one of my favorite things on the planet Earth. So just know that Q&A is welcome and Q&A is encouraged as a part of this. So let me pull up a couple of the questions here. I see I've got one from Fallon. What's going on, Fallon? She says, what is the best way to send a connection request? Dun, 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 dun. Great question, Fallon. Awesome question. I'm going to tell you there are really 2 options, okay? And I'll tell you the absolutely do not do option. Number 1 is send nothing, okay? If you do a really good job of having a decent headshot, it doesn't have to be overly professional or just make sure it's accurate. It's not some picture of you. It's funny, my Zoom picture, I've changed it 900 times. It keeps going back to this picture from 8 years ago. And I feel like I'm that guy who's trying to show oh, this is what I still think I look like. I don't. Accurate enough picture, a good headline. I'm telling you right now, if your headline in LinkedIn says sales development rep, your connection request is going to be very low because everybody knows what you're after. So if you want to get more meetings, it all starts first with a nice profile pic. Again, it could be a little fun. It doesn't have to be like a suit and tie and nothing. And a good headline, partnering with XYZ titles to help them, whatever it is. So that's number one, make sure that your profile's right. Number two is send no request, right? Nothing. Send no message. Just hit the connect button. And if you've got a decent, like I said, setup, you're going to be fine. Or go hyper personalized. If you don't go hyper personalized, it comes off as spam. I cannot tell you. I could here, if I just look real quick at my LinkedIn, I've got a lot of connection requests. My bad. If I haven't connected with you, please don't take it, as a slight or anything. I'm trying to expand. Here's a great one. I'm trying to expand my network with professionals in the San Diego area. Are you interested in connection? This is another one. It's a pleasure to connect with you. LinkedIn suggested that, that you and I should connect based on our profiles. Yuck. I already know what's going to happen. I've done this in trainings. I'll say, watch, I'm going to connect with these people. Right. And then what happens? They always pitch. Okay. This is a good example. If you are going to do personalized, really enjoyed your episode of 30 MPC. That's 30 minutes to President's Club. I've done those guys' show a couple times. Love the passion and energy. The information you gave was great. Encouraged me greatly in my pursuit in a career in tech sales. Have a great weekend. I'm connecting with that guy. So that's your options. If you want to increase your connect request, you either have to go nothing, and that'll speed. But for your top value, maybe the top 10%, 15% of people, just do something connection. I can tell you for every one of those I get like, I don't know, 1 million. You were highly recommended to me by LinkedIn and would love to connect. Like, yikes. Okay, great. So anyway, but here's one. You were connected, I was connected to your content from so-and-so, would really be, interested in, what you're up to. So anyway, that's what's up. Fallon, a very long answer to a very short question, but I hope it helps any of you trying to increase your connection requests. So Patricia, don't worry about it. Like I said, Patricia said it takes me too long. I totally get that. Just save it for your top, 15% of people. Like, hey, these are my target accounts. It's high level people. I really want to get in front of them. And that's what's up. Okay. All right. So this is a really great one. All right. So this question came to me from, I think it was a DM. Not sure how it got, but here, I'll drop the question in there for everyone following along. Fallon, I'm glad that was helpful for you. The worst is synergies, all that crap. So this is a question I got. What content has worked best on LinkedIn and what should new creators focus on? So everyone asked me this question, Jake, how do I go viral on LinkedIn? What's the right piece of content to put out? Look, I've had posts that do 1,000 views, and I've had posts that do millions of views. Okay. The latter happens a lot less frequent than the former. Usually I'm in this kind of sweet spot that I know for a given type of content. So the first thing I would answer to this question is understand your audience first. You might be going after a very niche audience. Maybe you're going after benefits directors at companies under under 50 in the pest control space. So guess what? Your content's never going to go viral. It's never going to be huge, right? Instead, you want to focus on content that I think will make them smarter. So the content that has consistently worked for me is content that is 100% focused on making the other party smarter based on my previous experience. I don't overthink it. Every post is a data point. That's my number 2 tip is mindset, that in order to really refine what content's going to work for you, don't get hung up. This one was amazing. This one was terrible. It's just use those as data points. Don't let your ego get impacted. They're not a sign of your self-worth that people didn't, interact with your content. So make sure that you do that you're really specific, come in with the right mindset, and then refine over time. And, maybe you don't feel confident with videos. Cool. Maybe try it every once in a while, but stick to text posts. Maybe you really like images. Great. Stick to images. But I can just tell you that the content that works best is super authentic content. Now, For me, I try to focus on content that I think is very relevant to sales leaders in particular, and sales reps is kind of a part of that. CEOs of really fast growing companies to find my content helpful. Other people want to be more broadly aware. And so, for example, I know for a fact if I did content that was like, salespeople are getting screwed these 2 ways, that post would do really well. Like, here are like, hey, employers, don't do this. And then everyone would be like, yeah, they suck. So like, there are really, really easy ways to make content go viral that I choose to not participate in because I'm not interested in it. I'm not interested in posting. I'll post about my family every once in a while. I'm actually doing a little post about my family tomorrow, but I'm not interested in being the guy who's like, wow, this guy shares his whole life. Even though I do pretty much share my whole life, I'm not interested in like going super viral to a whole subset of people that, may or may not be the right people for my message. And so I think when you're picking your content type, just understand, who you're targeting and what your reach might potentially be. Have that mindset of like data points, and then just learn as you go along and refine that. So that's what's up. If you do that, you are going to have great content that will pop at times. And then again, use that as a data point to reverse engineer a higher likelihood that it's going to pop. All right, Mr. Jared Almond has the last question of the day. Again, feel free, if you got a question that you want me to take live, feel free to shoot me a DM and I will add it to the list in the queue. Jared says, is video message or voice message after a connection? Jared, here's the thing. I love that idea. So for those of you who don't know, it's only available on mobile. Once we become a first degree connection, I can then send you, there's a little voice message. When I click message, like if I was going to message Jared, I could click the little microphone icon and I could literally send him a one-to-one voicemail. It's awesome, right? Or if I hit the plus button, it says video, I can send him a one-to-one video. So Jared, here's what I would say. It can be epic unless it comes off desperate. And so if it's don't just do it to thank someone for the connection request. That's the desperate part of like, well, I'm so glad. Hey, I'm really glad that we're connected now, John. Yeah, I really appreciate you accepting my connection request. Ugh, don't do that. Okay. I would suggest it's just like any DM. I would wait a couple of days and I would say, hey, John, or hey, Jared, glad we got connected. This piece of content, I might even do a screen share, really resonated. I look forward to following along. I share insights around this topic. So, hope it's helpful for you as well, too. So I would wait. I wouldn't do it in the first day. I'd do it in the next 2 or 3 days. And then again, it would be about value add. Here's a reason I'm sending the video. So that's what's up. If you're wanting to get a higher engagement rate with your voice messages or videos, wait a few days, pull up something that you saw from them. And maybe even you could then next pull up your own profile and say, hey, here's what I'm up to. If you're interested in content that's relevant to VPs of ops and where the future of logistics is going, make sure, I think you'll find my content helpful. Thanks. That's it. My friends, that's what's up. So if you have not signed up for the Nano course, do it. It's free. Please, my ask. Again, I have very, very few asks on LinkedIn. Share this with your network. Share the course with your network. Share it with your peers. It's 100% free. And I think there's a ton of value in there. So hope everyone has an amazing rest of their week. I will be back next Monday. We've got the Dell Match Play, the golf tournament in town, where we've got some client and entertainment stuff going on. So I'm excited for that. We might actually have a couple extra tickets. If you're in Austin, DM me. We might actually have some tickets left. So let me know and I'd be happy to hook you up. We did a small sponsorship with them. And if I don't talk to the rest of you, have a great rest of your week. And I will see you next week on Monday at 11 o'clock, like we do all the time.